What is up, guys? It's Dan the Man, and it's definitely been a while since I've last recorded a video. And after, being inactive for several weeks, I'm coming out with a banger. This is a very major announcement I'm going to tell you guys. And if you may hear, and if you may or may not have seen the survey I put on my posts, I asked what college you think uh, I will go to, and I asked you guys for some sort of insight. Got a few comments which were pretty helpful, but that ultimately didn't guide my decision. Those were just something to keep in the back of my mind. And after contemplating each of my colleges that I got into, I'm going to share which one I have committed to with you guys today. So, this is why I'm going to be talking about my commitment announcement. So, for some context, for those of you that don't know, my accepted schools this admission cycle were University of Georgia, which was a safety of mine since I'm local. Purdue University, which was also a safety. William and Mary, which was uh, this one's weird because even though it's lower ranked than UGA and Purdue, it had like a higher test scores. So I think they take higher caliber of applicants. So I'm gonna probably put this one in a target school. And lastly, we got the University of Florida, which was also a target school. So before I reveal the school that I am going to, maybe type in the comments which one you think I picked. And now for the grand reveal. Drum roll, please. The college I will attend is University of Florida, baby. That's right. I'm going to Gatorville, aka Gainesville, because that's literally the only thing in Gainesville is the University of Florida. Yep, gotta show off the gator right there, the unique logo, and obviously gotta say go Gators to support the school. So yeah, I picked UF out of those four options, and I'm gonna talk about my rationale. But first, I want to give you guys a little bit of some context on what UF is and like the characteristics of the school. So first off, UF, it's the flagship university and best university in the state. So it's the number one school in Florida. It's better than Florida State, Florida International, Florida Southern, all that stuff. This is the best school in the state. It's the cream of the crop. And it's the main public school there too. It's ranked number 30 according to the US News and World Report, which is really good because it's in the top 50 and it has renowned academics among many other traits. So it's nice to know that UF is so highly ranked. And as I said earlier, it's located in Gainesville, which is pretty much a college town because UF is the first thing that comes to mind when you ask someone what's in Gainesville, and it's a mid-sized city as well. So, for those of you that don't know, UF is humongous. It has around 35,000 undergrads, give or take, and that's not including graduates. There are, I think, 15 or 16,000 graduates, so which means this school has over 50,000 students, which means I will definitely be surrounded by a lot of students here. And not only is UF big in terms of population, it's big in terms of area. It's freaking 2,000 acres, guys. Um, Let that sink in for a second. There's a ton of campus. There's a ton of campus ground on UF and I've seen videos of people saying, "Oh, I've been here for 2 years and I still haven't seen everything." So yeah, this will be very cool to explore how big this campus is, and what different parts are like. Next, we're going to talk about some application stats. So, applying to UF was competitive as it always was. It has a 24% overall acceptance rate. Uh, Different sources will give slightly different numbers, but this is generally the acceptance rate. They'll say it's a little less than a fourth of the people, and it's especially competitive for out-of-state applicants like myself, with only a 14% acceptance rate. The SAT range, again, different sources will say different things, but it's generally around, the range is around low 1300s to high 1400s, with the average being somewhere around 1390, 1400 ish. So it's not like super exclusive where that only take 1500s, but it's not like, a slam dunk with getting like 1,000 or 1,100 SAT. You still got to try and show your intelligence on the test. You can't and they actually require the SAT, so you have to click on the SAT for this school. Yeah, UF is a great school. I don't know if I mentioned that already. It's between the top 5 and the top 10 best public schools nationally. One time Forbes said it was number 4 in the country for best public schools, and sometimes it was a little bit lower, but still, it's a really good school. And it's another good thing is that it's relatively cheap. $6,000 for in-state, and for me, it would be $29,000 tuition for out-of-state. This is not including room and board costs. And to those of you new to this whole process, $29,000 might seem like a ton of money, but you go to these other state public schools, and their tuition rate is even higher. It's almost like $60,000, or maybe it gets as high as $60,000, and for out-of-state tuition, this isn't bad at all. Of course, we're not counting private schools because private schools are always expensive. But for just a out-of-state cost, this is pretty good, especially the quality of education you are supposedly receiving. And we got to mention the very strong athletic culture because they just won the NCAA over Houston. They won college basketball, and I actually watched the game, and I was really happy for them. And I, of course, did the unique Gator Chomp. So yeah, they have great academics and great athletics, among many other things. So that is why I chose, those are the basics of UF. Now, let me talk about why I chose UF out of the 4. So first off, it's highly ranked in chemistry, which is my main area of study. I want to be involved in some sort of chemistry, studying some sort of chemistry. Maybe not pure chemistry, but some sort of application of it. And I want to go to a school that has a strong chemistry department. And number 34, still in the top 50. It's great program. And another area I could possibly dabble in is pharmacology, which is for not many schools offer a pharmacology program. It's a very limited field. It's very specific. So most schools do not even offer it. But for people who manage to get a pharmacology degree, they can get paid quite a lot. So I have some flexibility here. I can go into the pharmacology field, and thankfully UF offers it, and it's extremely highly ranked. It's number 4 in the nation for pharmacology, which is crazy. Yeah, and UF is just a really good pre-med school also. Another thing, it's close to home. So I'm from Georgia, and Florida is pretty sure y'all know that, but UF is literally like a few hour drive from where I live, and I don't have to, fly super far or anything like that. I'm pretty close to home, which is nice. As I said earlier, it's relatively cheap tuition, room and board. Everyone likes it when it's cheap, especially if you get quality education for that. I did receive a merit-based scholarship as well, so that helped reduce the cost of the tuition a little bit. It's not a full ride or anything, but it's definitely something. Very diverse academics. This is probably because the school is so huge. They have to accommodate the needs of a bunch of people who want to study different things. And they have good weather. It's not like below freezing in the winter. And but then again, it gets like scorching hot in the summer. It's probably going to be like 100 degrees by the time I matriculate there, so that'll be fun. But I'm saying in the winter time, it's not going to be super cold. It'll probably be like in the 50s or 60s, which is nice. It's very enjoyable weather in the winter time, but maybe not in the summer. Vibrant campus life, and it's likely to find people with similar interests. So I know there are a lot of clubs, student organizations, and new activities to try. And since it's so many people on campus, I'll likely have a good time there while also, trying to stay focused academically. And I toured the campus. I had a good feel of the campus. I really liked it. So that was another thing. You got to see the campus, my opinion, before you decide to enroll at that particular school. So, but that is not 100% clear cut. There are some wait lists that I would choose over UF, so I'll be staying vigilant over the summer to see if they reach out to me, which is very unlikely, but it's not impossible. It's not zero. So here are the wait lists that I would choose over UF, given the fact that I would, get chosen off the wait list. First off, we got Rice University, Vanderbilt, Carnegie Mellon, University of Michigan, and Georgia Tech. But Georgia Tech, I haven't fully made up my mind on Georgia Tech because they both have their pros and cons, and somehow Georgia Tech's lower ranked than UF. I mean, not by much, but the other four are more prestigious, and they're really highly renowned universities. They have a great standing globally, nationally. But I'm not dissing on Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's still an incredibly good school, but it's not a pushover. I still have to weigh the pros and cons between Georgia Tech and UF. So I'll be on the lookout for these 5 schools, and my decision, although very unlikely, could change over the summer. So some final thoughts before I close the video. This application process was very stressful. Some schools I thought I would get into, I did not, or I got waitlisted. Like, I was sure I would get into Georgia Tech because, I'm in-state. But, we got 4 schools. That's, it's not bad. It's not one school. You got to be happy with what you have. So, yeah, and again, I applied to really competitive schools. Each school was in the top 50, so no slam dunks, as they say. As I mentioned earlier, although chances of getting into any of the wait lists I mentioned earlier are slim, I will not lose hope over the summer. So the chances of getting into the wait list, they vary slightly from school to school, but it's usually only around a few percent per school. So very low odds, but, don't want to throw in the towel just yet. Nonetheless, if UF is 100% where I will go for the next 4 years, I am very satisfied with my decision. I think I picked the right school, and I think I'll have a good time there. I don't regret choosing it, not yet. I'm not thinking about transferring or anything like that. No matter where I end up, I will try to get the most out of my time there. And finally, closing remark, go Gators! And that's my take. That's my spiel on where I'm going. Hope you guys, like this video. You can write in the comments, congratulating me or anything like that. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. I'll probably get to, putting back more chess content soon. Been wrapping up some senior year stuff, so hadn't really gotten the chance to play in a tournament in a while, but it's coming. And hope you guys like the video, and have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!